Alright guys, we now have everything out of the way to be able to start doing the brake tuck, or not brake tuck, I'm sorry, doing the wire harness tuck. We still have some stuff to remove in the engine bay, so we can get stuff out of the way, but we have all the body panels, the headlights out of the way. As you've seen in some of the other videos, I'm sure, we're going to be doing the D-pin method, where we D-pin the wiring harness plugs and run it through here and run them down. I might even run them through the hole there that runs through this fender part right here. You also have it here too. I'm still undecided on exactly how I'm going to run all that, but I will be showing you how. Okay guys, real quick, now that we have both sides of the wire loom free, now you're going to want to go through here and cut all these clips off the wire loom, and then you're going to want to strip the wire loom off just temporarily. You can take some electrical tape and put it around the wires, you know, to keep the ones that go together. But you're going to want to take all this off because, if you can see, you're going to have to de-pin the connectors to get them through this hole. And then the hole on the inside are even tighter. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these clipped off, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, as you can see, we've got all the wires cleaned out, the wiring loom part off, all the black electrical tape off. And now we're going to start de-pinning the connectors. Now, it's really hard to show you on here, and I don't have the greatest of cameras. But basically, what you do, if I can get it in here, if you look in your clip here, you're going to see the spade that actually plugs in, and then you're going to see what almost looks like a little finger that bends down at the top, okay? And then it locks into your spade so it can't move. Well, what you have to do is you take your small flathead screwdriver, pick whatever you got, and you slide it in between that little pick part of the finger, and then you pry up a little bit to release the spade. And it's kind of tricky to get used to it at first, but basically oh crap, sorry, I got a lot of shit sitting over here. Basically, the easiest way that I found to do it is to hold your wire with, you know, like 3 fingers or whatever, and then pinch the connector and slowly hold the wire and push the connector with your fingers. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And then put tension on this wire. And then all you do is you go in here and you pick up on that little finger, and then it'll slide right out. It's very, very easy once you get the hang of it. And then, please, whatever you do, do one connector at a time. Also, before I started unpinning anything, I took very good photos, and a lot of them, of every single connector. One side, the other side, checked the pictures, made sure I can see what each color wire is. Phone's about dead too. Great. Okay, as I was saying, make sure you take pictures of the plugs, where the wires are, so you can see clearly where each wire goes back into. Okay, it's very important. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'll show me doing all this, well, until my battery dies at least, but I'll put it on fast forward if I can, so that way I'm not sitting here boring you with the same shit over and over. But again, do not start unpinning these until you have good photographs or a video of how they all go. Because don't ask me how I know. But what you're going to do, you're going to unpin each connector one at a time, run them through, pin them back. Actually, I'm going to be running them down through here. There's a hole here and a hole here. So we will get going. All right, first one. All right, guys. Sorry, I had to go get a charge cable. You haven't missed out much. Just ran this plug through there. Gonna get ready to run this one. Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah. Also, some of these will have these little blocks. I guess that's what you call them. They're little caps that go on top. Don't forget where those go. Hey guys, this is the next day. Battery ran out and I had to do some editing and stuff because I didn't have any more room in my SIM card. But anyway, sorry. We've got all the wires through, as you can see. All we're going to end up doing now is separating each individual, well, take it back. We're going to go ahead and run it. We're going to put some wire loom over this and run it down where it needs to go and everything. And then after we get that done, we're going to do individual wraps on each one. Well, this is going to have to go differently, but we're going to individually wrap and protect each individual circuit, you know, and then run it down. And then we're going to go ahead and stop there once we get this to here and this loomed. And then we're going to go over to the other side, and then we'll do the exact same procedure on the other side. Let me go ahead and do that because I have low on space. So let me go ahead and do all that, and then I'll get right back. Okay, guys. We've got... hopefully, let me make sure you can see this really well. Okay, we got all the wires ran. Got the loom going. Actually, hold on a second. Let me... sorry, making you all sick here. Let's try this way. Maybe you can see a little bit better now. Hopefully. There we go. Yeah, you guys can see a little bit better now. Okay. We got the wire loom ran. Taped the wires inside the loom with electrical tape. Taped it all the way up to here. We split off our main plug here. Here's a little trick I forgot to tell you guys. All these clips that you guys were taking off to remove the wiring loom from inside the car, save a few of them. They work really well instead of having to put zip ties and all that other shit. I mean, yeah, it works, and yeah, you don't really see it, but remember, OCD. So you can use these clips to hold it in place. All you do is you put it up against the wiring loom, and then you electrical, these long black ones work really, really well. And then you just electrical tape it around this side, and then it'll snap in and out if you ever have to move it. So I'm going to go ahead, get those placed, and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, hope you can see that. I'm sure you can. But, I mean, that's what I do. And then it just, you reach, and it just snaps in. And it's just like the factory setup. You can put one here too as well if you like. I'm probably going to, but I just wanted to show you that real quick. Be right back. Alright guys, as you can see, I mean, that holds really, really well. It's just a little trick I picked up. Now, this is one of the most important parts of the entire tuck. You see this weird looking thing? I gotta put the top back on it. This is your ground box. It's where all the grounds for this wiring loom goes to. And if you can see, hold on, let me do it over here. It was right here whenever you removed it. Now, this is the same bolt, and this ground wire was also connected to it. All you do is you switch it over to where you thread it back into the same exact hole, but just on the back side. That's all you gotta do. It's really simple, clean, but don't forget this step. Don't try to put it anywhere else. You will have all sorts of crazy shit going on with your electrical system. For whatever reason, it has to be right here. And also, it doesn't hurt. In fact, I'm going to do it as soon as I pause the video. Scuff up any paint that's on the back side of this to where it's going to contact the top of the nut. Just so you know you get good connection. I mean, it'll probably work even if you don't, but remember, OCD. So, go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and get that done, and then I'll start taping up these wires individually, and then as soon as I get that done, I'll be right back. Alright guys, as you can see, we got all this down, got all these individually wrapped where we can run them. I had to undo this again. See this? It is a very, very, very good idea to put part of the wiring, the plastic loom, the covering, through this hole. Let's see if I can get it on the other side here. See the wire loom down there? I ran it through that little bitty hole. I kind of had to thread it on. And then you run it all the way through, so that way the metal on the fender isn't going to scrape it or nothing. So after you do that, there we go. Since I'm not going to be moving the fuse box or the battery tray, go ahead and tuck all this up underneath there. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but it'll tuck, trust me. And then I'm going to go ahead and bolt up the fuse box back to its original location. And then we will head over to the other side and do the same thing on the other side. I'll probably cut that shorter since you've seen me do everything on this side already. Be right back. Alright guys, I'm in the midst of cleaning up the harness and all that, but I ran into something that I need to show you guys. Okay, can you see this right here? Yeah, you can see it. Okay, that plug right there, okay? Be truthful with you, I'm not even 100% sure. I think, yeah, it's part of the AC system. I think it's the high pressure line. But anyway, like I said, I've never done one of these with an AC car. So that that right there, that connector, is not going to reach. Here it is right here. This is the connector. In case you guys have AC cars, you can see what it looks like. It's just a two wire connector, black and brown, or wait a minute, is that brown or brown with a red stripe, and then black for a ground. Now, the brown is fine because I'm going to thin out this harness, and I got to take these wires here that go to the brake level sensor, and then of course this that goes to the high pressure line for the AC. I'm not even quite sure what exactly the sensor does, but anyway, it goes to the AC. So the only splice that I know of that I'm going to have to do is on this ground wire here because it will not reach. So I have, as you can see, a black wire, same diameter, same gauge, and then here they are. Just a couple snap spade connectors. Since it's a ground, it's not going to be a big difference. I'm going to tape it up and everything. It'll be in aluminum, so it'll be fine. But so that way, if I ever need to work on something, I can just unhook it. But that right there, you're going to have to cut this wire if you have AC. Only if you have AC. You cut this wire, and then you're going to splice in a longer piece of wire, so that way you have room to tuck this side. I'm going to get that done, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, back real quick. All the wires ran through the loom. Here's all these. I still have to, clean up some of these here. Right now, I'm taking off the wiper cowl. I don't know if I have to take it all the way off or not. I just have to get over to right about here where this the wiring goes up into the cowl, so I can try to pull some of this slack up in through there to clean it up. And then I'm going to clean these up with some wiring and with some electrical tape and all that. I'm going to take this cowl off. If you look, you got these little clips here. They're kind of a bitch to get out. They go into it like this. Basically, what I do to get them out, here's another one right here. If you watch, I pull the rubber this way, and if you can see, it kind of pulls it out of the hole, and then I slide it off. And then as you can see, it slides out of the hole, and then I go in and use a little screwdriver or something to pop them out. That way you're not breaking it and ripping this gasket, hood gasket, I guess is what you want to call it, or whatever, weather stripping. But yeah, that's what I'm up to right now, and I'll hit you back as soon as I get done. Alright guys, finally we're finished. This is a long process. Don't let anybody tell you any different. It's getting a little dark outside, so I got a little flashlight. But ran everything just like I did on the other side. Over here, there's these clips that hold on your hood release cable. And I just went ahead and used those like I did with the other clips on the other side. So they're holding right there. Looks a lot cleaner than zip tied and all that other shit. But anyway, again, don't forget you have your ground block right there. Goes in the same spot. All the wires are individually wrapped. They're all through here. Now, this is another thing. First car I had with cruise control on it. So here's the thing I had to do. Wasn't happy about it, but I did it. If you want to keep your cruise control, what I did, hold on. See that little hole right there? I drilled a little bitty hole. If you come underneath, hold on. Where's that? Right there. See the hole I drilled? That's about the only spot you can drill it to where it'll be safe, nothing will catch on it, and you don't have to extend your wires. It's not the cleanest. If you really wanted to be clean, you could solder on some wires and extend it and put it through this hole here. And then you could run it up and around and back, but this is what I did. It's clean enough. All the wires still reach. So I did that. Another thing I did is the ground wire, ground strap. It usually comes over this way here. I went ahead and put it on, ran it around. If you guys can see. And then just temporarily, I put it... Shit, hold on. Let me get where you can actually see what I'm doing. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Probably making you sick here. There it is. Okay. I put it there temporarily. I'm actually going to put it down a little bit lower once I get the alternator and everything put on. But I did that. Now, here's where I did a lot of work. This is what took so long. Was trying to figure out all this stuff. I had to take the wiper cowl off. In here, as you guys can see, I had to separate the wire harness there. And then I had electrical tape around the rubber grommet there that goes inside the cabin. And then I had tape there on the rubber grommet that the wire slides in for the wiper motor. I had to untape all those, use a little bit of WD-40 so that way, as lubricant, so that way it would slide real easy. I pushed the excess wires up back inside of it. I actually ran them over to the brake reservoir. I tried to run as much as I could up and around the brake booster on the bottom side. This hose here, the brake booster line they used to come up and around the top and over there, I actually reran it. I had to add a little bit of hose, but I actually reran that up and around the brake booster as well to keep that cleaner. I had to run that down. That's the AC connector. I showed you guys how I had to add some wire, some ground wire on that. Everything's wired, ran, tucked as well as possible. I'm going to be figuring out a way to better hide some of the engine connectors there, the big ones. And then I'm going to try to clean up some of the wiring harness, that's down inside the motor, or down underneath the motor and stuff. But for right now, it's pretty good. Like I said, everything's ran on the outside. Everything's individually wrapped. I have to get a new set of headlights. The one I had a cracked mounting bracket. But that's all ran there. As you come over here, same thing. Sorry. This is all ran here. Clean. Everything's bolted up. I've got these are all the plugs for the headlights and everything, and the fan solenoid. I'll run those as soon as I get the headlights so I can install them, and then I'm going to tuck that still. But as you can see, hopefully, everything's a lot cleaner. Everything is stashed underneath there. I will be using the same battery tray. I have to clean it up. It's rusted as shit, so I'm going to clean it up and paint it. But whenever that goes on, that'll cover all those wires. I'm going to be redoing this blue shit into black to try to hide it some more. And then I got to put the wiper cowl back on. But yeah, that's it, guys. This was a long job. Don't let anybody fool you. It took me 2 days, but not 2 full days. It'd probably take you a good 8 hours straight. If you're not having to stop and film and all that. It's a good weekend project. It does clean things up. So let me know if you guys have any questions, comments. Please feel free to ask, post. I'm going to get this posted up as soon as I can. The next thing we're going to be working on should be the body panels. They should be here very soon. So we'll get the whole front end put back together, and then we'll start working on the suspension. I'm going to be taking some of the suspension apart because we're going to be replacing, hopefully with coilovers. If nothing else, we'll be taking them out and making sure everything is in good shape. But anyway, until next time, this is Grizz. Take it easy.